how to connect Google Tag Manager and Jotform. This is a question often asked in the Jotform answers forum, for example here. And here the answer that was provided was to use the source code embed. So go to embed, use the source code, and then use Google Tag Manager. However, this actually does not work. And I'm gonna show why it doesn't work, and I'm gonna recommend a different solution. I have a kind of a product which solves this problem, but I'm gonna give an explanation you can use even if you don't get my product. Okay, so let's first try this, and I'm gonna show you what is the problem with this method. So here I have my Jotform, embed, copy the code. Again, I'm in the source code method here. Then I will go to my website and add the source code like this. Save, and now our Jotform source code is embedded. I'm going to switch to another tab here where I have Google Tag Manager. I have a form submit trigger, which should kind of try to track these Jotform source code submissions. And I have a Google Ads tag just as an example. So I have connected my Google Tag Assistant to my website, and we are ready to test this out. I'm going to clean out my Tag Assistant so we can see what happens. So I'm just going to say Steve, and I'm going to click submit. Okay, so now we can see that we are no longer in my website, in my demo Squarespace website. We were instantly redirected to submit.jotform.com. So if we take a look at the Tag Assistant, we see the form submit trigger did fire, so this looks good. However, we can see that the tag which was fired says still running, and this is a huge problem. So still running means that it did not actually receive Google Ads, or it wasn't sent all the way through. It tried to do it, but because this redirect away from our website was so fast, this did not really work. So the reason why the source code Google Tag Manager Jotform thing does not work is that this show a thank you page after submission. For any other embed, this will just show the thank you page thing inside our iframe. So to explain, if I go to one of these iframe with no redirect, and I submit this form, we can see that I'm still in my Squarespace website, and the kind of thank you thing happens inside this Jotform iframe. So with this, we can stay on our website, and our Google Tag Manager would have enough time to send those tags. But if we use the source code embedding, then we move away from our website so quickly that the tags don't have enough time to fire. So how do we solve this problem? Well, because this is a pretty complicated problem, I have actually created a product which you can get. It's pretty cheap and it's quite advanced, that will make Google Tag Manager work with Jotform very seamlessly. So it has a bunch of tags and triggers, and it just works automatically and pretty easy to install. So I'm going to show how that works. So even if you don't buy my product, you can still make your own solution. All right. So the way to use Google Tag Manager with Jotform, there are two ways. We can listen for an iframe message. So when we have an iframe here, meaning that when we embed our Jotform, we use either this method, this actually becomes an iframe. So these two are pretty much the same, and this one as well, and this pretty much all of these, but this one become an iframe. So when the iframe Jotform is submitted, we hear a message we can use to trigger our conversion. So I will show that here. So I will click submit. And in my tag assistant, we can see Jotform iframe submit. So this is one way to track these Jotforms using Google Tag Manager. The second is using a redirection. So in our Jotform, what we can do is we can redirect back to external link, and we can redirect back to our website. And with my setup, we add the submission ID into the URL. So you just copy paste this. You can copy paste other things as well. I have like instructions, everything. But basically, we just add the submission ID into the URL. So here, let's take a look at another Jotform that has this redirection. So Steve will now submit. I will clean out my tag assistant so it's now clean and we can see the new thing that happens. Click submit. So we go to this thank you page within our website and we have this submission ID here. So my setup, this redirection setup, will search the URL for these parameters, and then we'll fire a custom event in Google Tag Manager. Again, we can use this to trigger our Jotform conversions. So now when we were redirected to our kind of thank you page in our website, my setup will use the submission ID and all this other stuff. If you use it, it's optional. And we have this redirect thank you trigger. So let's take a look, and we can see that Google Ads succeeded. So it's not still running, it succeeded. So all of these tags work. So yeah, my setup is pretty easy to use. You basically just import the setup into Google Tag Manager and it works automatically. Of course, you will need to copy your own IDs. So for example, Google Analytics Stream ID, we don't know what it is, so you will copy your own. But other than that, it works pretty much out of the box. And here inside Google Analytics, for example, we can see these Jotform submit conversions coming in. But yeah, if you don't want to buy my product, but you want to do this yourself, the way to do it is, for example, the iframe message listener. So again, this iframe is the best way to embed, in my opinion. So this will send a message to our website, and we can listen to it with Google Tag Manager. So for example, my iframe message listener, it has this event message listener thing, and we listen for this submission completed named event. And with this, we can then trigger and fire our conversions. All right, so I hope this was useful. A bit of self-promotion, but also I think this is the method you will use even if you make your own solution. So this is how you can connect Google Tag Manager and Jotform. Two ways: redirect or iframe messages.